I love this first question. How soon is it acceptable to start decorating for Christmas?
This is great because we disagree.
Do we now?
You decorated before Thanksgiving.
Always.
That's
always
crazy.
You gotta have holiday cheer for a minimum of 3 months.
I mean, I guess, okay.
Otherwise, what do we have in this life?
Did you always have fake trees?
No. Never. That's why it was such a fucking debacle when I just went home. It was my mom's first fake tree.
Oh.
Because my sister would cry. My sister's, if it's not tradition, she's bawling her eyes out.
Oh,
and if
Sarah.
one year they brought home like a Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah, my parents did that
she
too.
Bawled her eyes out. And they had to
God.
chuck it in the woods and get another one. And they're like, it'll fill in with some lights and ornaments.
Oh.
And she was just crying.
It's just cockeyed, like one little twig.
One branch. Yeah. My mom also, like, all the ornaments are like family heirlooms.
Yeah,
like,
same.
For the most part, pretty hideous stuff. She had this angel that looked demented. And it was on top of her first, like, shitty fake tree. And it's like the rest of them are like, you know when you make ornaments as a kid with like puzzle pieces in your school picture?
Yeah, pasta. Yeah, we got a lot of
That's
those.
like, it's that tree and this terrifying angel that's cockeyed.
Oh.
And first and foremost, I was like, she was like, what do you think's wrong with the tree? And I was like, the angel, the ornaments, the lights, and the skirt. And she was like, so everything. Everything that's mine. It's like, yes. Actually, I didn't realize it until I'd said it. Like, everything you have needs just a little update. Like, it's cute, and it's like, she's like, the colored lights remind me of home.
Yeah.
Like, when I was growing up, I was like, that's fine, but...
I have mixed feelings about it because my family Christmas tree, I want to be the colorful lights. I want all our funky non-sexual ornaments. No, it's like exactly like you described. We've got like my mom's family ornaments plus whatever we like collected over the years from like elementary school like markets, like holiday markets, plus all of our our handmade ones. It's a tree. I don't know. It's a fucking tree.
It sounds great.
It's great. It's great. It feels nostalgic.
Do you have any decor at your apartment right now?
No.
Miriam!
No, but I want to. Like, I actually normally, like, living on my own, I'm just like, why would I decorate? It's just something that I have to take down.
For you.
Yeah.
You come in and the tree's lit up and you just,
I do enjoy that. I like coming home to, like, the lights
holiday cheer.
And the pine smell and everything.
I mean, honestly, lighting candles is nice as well.
Yeah. But I am going to make I'm taking a wreath making course, like a little workshop next weekend. So
you are beyond.
I'm going to make a wreath. And I might do...
With pasta?
Yeah, exactly. And then I might do some decorating. Well, I feel more like now that I have a friend living with me, I feel like it's more exciting to decorate. Anyway, we're not answering the question.
It's acceptable to decorate for Christmas, I think, depending on your schedule. End of October.
No, I completely disagree. End of October.
Mm-hmm.
Decorating
maybe you don't
for
have
Christmas.
Time the first week of November.
Okay, this I can understand if you're going out of town and you want to come back in December for
holiday
a Christmas
cheer.
house. Sure. But you decorated this year for Thanksgiving or for Christmas like weeks before Thanksgiving.
I decorated November 1st. No, I think it was Halloween.
You see how that's crazy.
How? November always goes by in a flash. So what am I doing? I'm not putting up Thanksgiving decorations.
Right.
So I want all of November to be holiday.
Okay.
Christmas. I want the pine Douglas fir candles. Some lights, a tree. Just get it up. Just get it erect. You know?
Yeah.
Stockings are really out right now with the puppy. So I just, she's going to eat them. And
yeah.
I guess we could hang them from the tree.
I feel like December. I think starting to decorate in December.
Miriam.
But also...
You're Scrooge.
No, there's logic behind it. If you get... I don't want a fake tree. I want real tree that smells like pine. Or fir.
Where are you going to get that? The observatory?
No, there's... There's little spots around town. I'm not going to go to the farm and cut one down, but
You're gonna be covered in sap.
I would be covered in sap.
Are you gonna get a real tree this year?
Well, that's what I'm if I get one, it's going to be a real one.
It's gonna be like a little one though.
I've gotten a little one before when I had my little studio apartment.
Such a little architect thing to do.
I mean, when you don't have the space, now I have the space for a big tree.
Big space.
And you just shuffle around it to like get to the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I want to do it, but it'll be this weekend, so the first week of December.
It's just not enough time. A tree can live for at least 2 months.
No, because they dry out and then they're sad when the worst thing would be on Christmas to have a like droopy dried out tree.
All right, so fake tree start in October.
Or real tree start in December.
It's just not enough time.
Those are the answers.
Okay, well, I hear you, but it's not enough time.
Agree to disagree.
To be amongst the cheer.
I like the cheer.
Do you even like holiday movies?
I like holiday music.
You don't like The Grinch, Christmas Vacation, Elf?
I like them, but
Home Alone?
Well, I do love Home Alone, and I love A Christmas Story.
Okay. You know, they just released a new one.
I know. We started it, and it's...
Yeah.
I feel like I ought to give it, because it's the same staff.
Guy. Same staff?
The same staff. Same cast.
I still can't believe when you posted that the podcast was out that I'm your coworker.
I know. Apparently Becky hates the word coworker.
Because you always, my coworker. You're always like, my coworker. You're always talking about your coworkers. And I think it's probably just because I don't really have coworkers.
Yeah, you're jealous. Miriam's got so many people in her life.
My coworker fucked up this design.
I never say that.
I know. How do you ask for privacy? Okay, this next question says, did we answer that question good enough?
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We agree to disagree. We should do a vote. We'll put a poll up.
Yeah.
Or not.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Next question says, how do you ask for privacy on something you were very public about at one point? This person messaged me and was like, I'm going to give you more context. Context. Like a friend had been very vocal about being sober for 100 days on social media and then wasn't sure if they wanted to be or what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And doesn't know what to do.
Right.
Like, you know, feels like, what do I do with my followers? And she did make sure to note, like, this isn't you. We're not talking to this as a friend of mine. It just happened to be a coincidence.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good question because I was thinking about that. It wasn't something that I honestly necessarily wanted to talk about, but like, yeah, I mean, I've said from the get-go, like, I don't know what's forever. I won't say anything's forever. I don't know what the full plan is, but yeah. You ask for privacy on something you were public about by, I think, a couple things. One, knowing your business is your business. And nobody needs to know that other than you. Ever. Yeah. Like, everything you choose to put online is your choice. No one expects anything of you.
Well, they might, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But even if they, I kind of always like compare it to like, you know, we all think about ourselves more than, like, we think people are thinking about us more than
they actually are.
They actually are. Like, no one's thinking about your shit. You know, and like when a celebrity really fucks up or something and it's like a big, you know, PR thing, it's like people might talk about it for a minute. It's over.
And it'll pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, like you said, you don't have to be public about anything.
Don't owe anyone anything.
Right.
But if you feel like they're expecting something, there's no shame in posting something and just saying like, yeah, I'm working through this and I want some privacy on this.
Totally. Exactly. I was going to say, just be real about it and say you need time to figure out when you want to talk about it again. Or like, hey, I was talking about this thing. I'm realizing I need space to like figure it out on my own. Yeah. Like, we'll check back in whenever the fuck I'm ready.
Yeah.
Or never.
It's hard because with social media, you're used to bragging about everything. And not drinking is a huge thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like something to announce.
Right.
You know, I didn't have a baby, but I did fucking get sober for a couple days here.
What'd you do in your 30s?
Another thing is, like, all we have in life is, in terms of learning, is storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Passing stories along.
Yeah.
Learning how things, you know, were in. I think saying that could also, like, you might be stuck in your own head about, like, fuck, what's it going to do for me if I was public about this, but now I want to be private about it. But, like, you never know. Someone else might be going through that too.
Yeah.
And you saying something about it might also help them realize, like, oh, God, I don't need to get down on myself because I want to be private about this now.
Mm-hmm.
And it also might open up the floodgates for someone to be able to offer you advice
Totally.
if you want it.
Yeah.
But for someone to be like, hey, like, I have these, like, couple tools, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So to say, like, I'm not sure I want to be public about this anymore, you know?
Yeah.
If you have any input on it, that'd be super helpful. But this is my journey,
Yeah.
and I prefer to be private about it.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair. I think we often forget what life was like before social media,
I know.
especially with someone like you who has like a huge following, where it's like not only do you feel like it's like one thing to like answer to your friends and family,
Yeah.
but like
To me, that's all that matters.
right, but like sorry fans, but like there's 100,000 plus people that are also invested in your life. That is hard to comprehend and may make you feel extra obligated. I know this wasn't you about you, but I'm just using you as the example. It may make you feel like you owe them something. Like that would whereas like my 500 followers on Instagram don't know shit about me, nor do they need to.
They just know that you had a turd stuck halfway out of your ass.
I know.
For a while.
Can we stop? We bring it up again on the second episode, and I feel like if we just keep mentioning that every episode, it's never going to go away.
Someone's going to like make a shirt with you in that position.
Oh
and they're
my
going to send
God.
it to you. And it's going to be fucking great. There are some really beautiful sides to social media.
Someone wrote a comment that was like, Miriam needs a turd cutter. And I was like, the fuck is that? What is that? Yeah, I guess maybe I do. I've never heard of it. Just leave it next to the toilet.
Yeah. I recently, how many secret Pinterest boards do you have?
I like don't even get who's on Pinterest that much.
I re-downloaded it recently, but people be on Pinterest.
I mean, I have to use it for work to like find imagery, but like
that's what everyone else does too.
Okay, then why would you need a secret board? Like what's on a secret board?
It's probably like how I have I guess it's not secret. My funeral playlist. On Spotify. Like I have playlists that I'm like, oh, you know, you have like a sex playlist.
Funky.
Funky Town. It's just Funky Town by Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's a great song. If you haven't heard it, give it a listen. It fucking slaps. Funky Town by Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Okay.
Put it on, dude. Dun, 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 dun. It's so good. Come on, everybody. Dun, 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 dun. Sometimes I feel like a human fucking chipmunk.
What's the one thing you would tell your teenage self?
Please start.
Me?
What's the one thing
teenage self.
Miriam?
I feel like recently I read my high school journal and it's so depressing. And which is weird because at the time I don't remember feeling that much angst or sadness.
Yeah.
But I guess I was. So maybe I would tell my teenage self to just lighten up.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of this is gonna matter ever. But like my memory of that time is not. It was very fun and like I had a ton of friends and like laughed constantly. I laughed so hard I peed my pants in high school.
That checks out.
You know, multiple times. So yeah, like I don't know. I think just the things that feel really heavy are not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I would tell myself. Also, maybe don't like Death Cab for Cutie that much.
What?
Maybe don't paint lyrics on your wall.
I need pictures of your childhood bedroom.
I've tried to find, I don't know that they exist. I've tried to find them.
I don't know if I have some at peak hideousness, but when you were talking about colored lights, it reminded me, like, have you ever gotten the flu in a room with multicolored lights?
No.
My bedroom when I was a teen used to have hot pink walls. I had a zebra comforter, a lime green fuzzy giant pillow, and then I had Christmas lights around the bed frame.
Yeah.
It was like a poster bed. And I remember one night I like got the flu. And like when you're throwing up and then going back into a whirlwind of rainbow, this really fucks you up.
Yeah.
I remember being like, I need taupe. Like, I need
Finally.
something cream. I was like, I can't be in this color wheel of a room right now. And just like, throwing up so much. The teenage self one is really hard, but the thing that keeps coming into my mind, I mean, I could say, I feel like I wish I was a little bit less of a I feel like I would tell my teenage self not to rush things so much. I really kind of like looked at my sister and what she was doing and what my friends were doing and what they were doing and thought like, I have to do this too. And I think I did some things that I were too soon or maybe that I wasn't like ready for.
Yeah.
That I ended up, laughing about, but like feeling, like, I don't know. I felt like different ever since I had like lost my virginity. And I remember feeling like the only reason I did it was because my friends had done it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, this is the year you do that.
Yeah.
And then I remember like having a couple Mike's Hard Lemonades to loosen up.
Before or after?
Before.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
And just doing things that like weren't me at all.
Yeah.
It was like you're being someone else. And that's not like genuine.
Yeah. That sucks.
I don't know. Growing up, my dad always told me like, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. And I think I just was like, I was always around older people. So I always just like, I think I just grew up kind of fast.
Yeah.
But I don't regret that.
No, I mean, it made you who you are today.
But I don't think I had a lot of like people necessarily saying like, it was kind of like do anything for humor.
Yeah.
And not so much like, hey, like really look out for yourself.
Yeah.
And like do only what feels right to you.
Yeah.
And then on Halloween, I think in 7th grade, I had a friend who had a twin brother, and the brother dressed up as me for Halloween and wore this like huge water bra that had all this tissue coming out of it. People used to call me Tissue because they would say I stuffed my bras, but I just really wanted to wear my sister's bras.
Oh.
But they did have like water packets in them.
Yeah, I got accused of stuffing my bra. But it was because I went from like a trainer bra to like a normal bra.
Yeah.
And then Kevin was like, it was such a
From Home
crazy
Alone?
way. No, but same name. He came up to me, like, again, it was like, I guess it was traumatic because I remember it so clearly, but he was like, I can tell like when girls stuff their bras. And I was like, okay. And then, but he was like waiting for me to like be upset or something. And I was just like, I didn't. And then I like got all in my head about the bra that I had. And I think I like never wore it again and just like wore regular bras. I was also like so late. Like I didn't lose my virginity until I was like 19.
34.
34.
I remember also one time too, there was this whole thing when I quit gymnastics. I had like reached a point where it was like, I don't think everyone around me was getting like lifelong injuries that were going to affect them forever. And I was like, okay, I made it to this like national competition in Hawaii that was like, I was like, this is probably as far as it's going to go.
Yeah.
I've thrown, I think, the best tricks that I'm going to throw. And I'm like, I'm proud of what I did and I don't want to get hurt. And I'm getting tall for a gymnast. Fucking 5'5". But, and so I quit and I just remember like my mom being like, "You're gonna get fat." Everyone was like, "You're gonna get so fucking fat. Like you're gonna get fat." And it was just like that was the only thing in my head, and I was so scared because it was just like everyone said it. Even like my brother's like girlfriend at the time, like older people that had like been gymnasts also were like, "Oh, get ready. You're gonna be a little fucking tank soon."
Jesus.
And I remember one day like sitting on the couch when I wasn't. It was gymnastics normally every day after school, and I was sitting on the couch just eating. I ate like a whole bag of pita chips. And I like got really anxious and I felt so bad and I went under the deck like a cat and threw them up.
I'm so sorry for laughing. I just did not see. It took me a minute to connect where this was going, and then once I realized, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Like, am I a feral feline?
Oh my god!
And I remember being like, "Wow, that's
under
fucked
the
up."
deck.
But like, yeah, just like enjoying your youth, understanding that like you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone, and like loving exactly what you are, and like, you know, being like proud of like what your body is able to do.
Yeah.
Able, you know, what you're capable of. Like, oh, food gives you the fuel to move around and like have
Yeah.
energy, and
Not
don't
everyone
worry
can
about
barf
that
under the
shit.
deck, you know? Your body let you do that.
Jesus.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think enjoying what you like, enjoying the time while you have it, because it is really like that's playtime, baby.
Yeah.
Like you just
You got
like
someone picking you up, dropping you off.
yeah.
You're not excited to be like, I'm driving myself. What a burden.
I know. Oh, I have to pay for
Can't
gas
wait to
now.
Uber everywhere now and be like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, it's true. It's like it should be such a fun time.
And you're filled with all this like teenage angst of like, gotta check that off the list. Gotta do that.
Yeah.
Gotta get highlights and get these braces off so I can pierce my belly button and get fucked.
Dang. See, I was so not worried about that stuff. I was like worried about like friends, like, you know.
You were a lot more wholesome, Mariam.
I definitely was. But like, yeah, I was like the angsty shit I was like reading about in my journal was like, so and so, I think they're mad at me.
Oh,
you know, it was
my
like
God,
that
yeah.
level of stuff.
You were that friendships are like a really big thing with you.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, just like this has been mad and like they like me, and
yeah, I just like
you put a lot of weight and you care about friendships a lot.
shouldn't we?
Yes. Yes, but I think that that's something that can kind of fade away as we get older.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always told you that I'm grateful for is when you call me out when I'm not responding.
Yeah,
Because not a lot of people do that.
I know.
You know, you're like, hey, bitch,
Yeah,
respond.
yeah.
I asked if you wanted to get chicken tenders Wednesday night.
I even suggested chicken tenders as bait.
Yeah.
Because I know you can't say no to them. Okay. Next.
Relationship advice. How do you keep the spark alive? Well, Mariam, you got a great
I
track
can't-
record.
Yeah, I
with
can't
this.
answer this one.
Have
at
you ever
all.
been in a relationship where you felt like the spark hath faded?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I can answer this one with any confidence.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I would be better now, but I think I lose.
Yeah, what does Mariam, who sees both sides, say?
Mariam, who sees
An
both sides.
outsider looking in.
Yeah.
Old wise Mariam.
Well, I think old wise Miriam's answer would be there's too much emphasis on keeping the spark. Like at a certain point, we
Spark
want
be ebbing and flowing.
we want companionship. We want to be able to be with someone that we love and who loves us and is going to be there whether or not we're feeling our sexiest or whatever. And it's like I think it's reasonable in any relationship to have like lows where like no one really wants to bang, and then you'll hit a period where like you're banging all the time, and then that'll fade, and it's like this constant pressure of like what's a normal amount to have sex all the time, or like have we lost it, or what's this or what's that. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of exhausting. I also think like I'm just like, I don't know, sex has always been lower on the list for me of things that are important, so maybe it's easier for me to say that because I'm just like, it's nice, but it's not like the most important thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the most important thing either, but I feel like it is very important.
Yeah. Well, what's your answer?
There was last Valentine's Day. Historically, not a big fan of Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this girl that I love. Her name's Angela Trimber. She's an actress, and she's also just like a dancer and choreographer and stuff. And she did this like connection dance thing on Valentine's Day that like it was just, I would say trying new things, traveling, like experimenting for sure, and like
Getting funky.
being fucking vulnerable and
Yeah.
being like, I feel like this, like look them in the eye, you know, discuss the spark, discuss what fizzled out about it. But we did this thing where it was like, I always felt like we didn't have enough like colors in the house, like colorful lights.
Yeah.
Here we go again with the fucking lights.
I know.
But I got some wine. I got us like tickets to this thing that we had to do virtually because she hosted it live in New York, and so we did the like Zoom version or whatever. And it was like, yeah, this dance, like love relationship, like Valentine's Day thing. So we just like, I moved all the couches. I put on like my craziest like lights that like, you know, those ones that go up on the thing. So
Nebula.
it was like, you know, some mood lighting, some candles and stuff. There's space to move around. And like one of the first things we did was like you stretched and stuff and like did some dancing to warm up, but then you move to the ground with your partner and like hold each other for a while, and then you're sitting like, not a scissor me timber, but your legs are crossed, yeah, and you're really close to each other. And she was like, okay, now look each other in the eye, and just like it went on for a long time, and like the fucking emotions that came, I started bawling. I don't know if that's good or bad. But it's just like, it's interesting, like the things that like wash over you when you do something like that. And then like she goes through and like we learned a dance routine too. I think it was like something from Dirty Dancing, and like doing all those moves. And we learned all these new kinds of like dips and stuff where you like kind of really had to be there for like supporting your partner, and like you're also doing new things for the first time together. It was just like, it was so great. And I think we ended up like, yeah, I mean, I think every relationship has periods like that where it's just like, if you have kids or something and it's like you don't want to have sex for a while, or it's like, oh god, we're so busy with these kids or this dog or this move or work travel and stuff, and you're like, I don't have the energy.
You know, that's a good point. I think getting caught up in the routine or like the daily drags is like the spark killer for sure. Yeah. Like when you're arguing about who took the trash out last, it's just like, that shit shouldn't matter.
Or just if you get resentful toward the person because you feel like you're doing more.
Yeah. Then you just, like you said, like confront it, talk about it, get it out of the way, and then move past it. But if you just like never address it, and then you're just like, you know, day after day getting more and more resentful, just feels like way harder to recover. Yeah.
You have to like check. And I was reading some post that was like, well, it was like Tim Ferriss or something was saying he does like quarterly or monthly like life meetings with his partner, because it's like that's the person you spend whatever percent of time with, which is the most, and like there's so little planning a lot of the time, that like goal setting and things like that, which sound kind of like, ugh, but it's like important. It's like, okay, what do we want to get out of this month? What could we be better at? Like, hey, you're not jerking me off enough. Or like, you know, whatever it may be. Yeah. Like, you know, for years there, the pandemic and so on, it's just like sweats. Yeah. You know, that's still.
Well, we talked about that for the photo shoot. Like I hadn't seen you in a skirt in so long. Yeah. And it was nice. Like I feel like you were like feeling yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you're dancing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it was cute to see.
I waited a really long time to I didn't buy new clothes that fit me. So I was just like, oh, I'll get back to whatever weight I was. And I think I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Because then you just are like, I can't even dress myself.
And then every time
you actually called me out for that. You were like, you used to dress really cute, and you don't do that anymore. And I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. Right? Because you can, when you get in a routine with your partner, you're like, well, fuck it. Yeah. I'm not bathing. I'm wearing the same sweats every day. Yeah. You have to like check in and like be aware of it. as much as it might be annoying, but it's so beneficial. Like once that thing, like you find that thing that's missing and you get it again, you're like, why did I? Because it seems like it builds and it builds and it builds.
Yeah.
And once you fix it, you're like, it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's not that fucking big of a deal.
Totally.
This has been relationship advice with people. No. Do you ever get freaked out when getting kissed or dry humped by strangers on stage? No, I fucking love it. I love it. The most freaked out I was on stage, I think, well, the stage has been stormed.
Yeah.
A few times now. And I've been like, uh-oh. There were a couple times I thought like my laptop was going to get kicked off the stage.
Oh my God.
Or I was going to fall off. But the weirdest time, were you at that Snow Circus show when I would invite a guy on stage and make him take his shirt off when that really weird guy was like...
Yes.
It was always ended up, like something really funny always ended up happening. And I thought it was like, no problem.
That guy seemed like he had a weapon.
He seemed like he had ulterior motives of being there that night.
Yeah.
And I just remember being a little bit freaked out. So in short, no. Like if someone's kissing and humping me on stage, I'm much more relaxed than I would be if someone was like acting shady.
Yeah.
I love love.
I mean,
I love people to a fault.
The Indianapolis show that I was at, the guy who gave you his shirt off his back twice.
He was just at my show.
Again?
In Cincinnati. In the same shirt, he found another one.
What?
Yeah.
He's just driving across state lines just to come see you?
His wife said, she goes, I've given up on Ron White and I've chosen you. It's like, easy. Ron White's a legend.
Yeah, but I think they might be your biggest fans.
I would say so.
He literally, you were climbing off stage and he picked you up like ass in hand, vagina in face while you're wearing a
skirt. And that's the third character of the show.
So sweaty.
That's some swamp.
Yeah, and he's back for more, baby.
He's just like... He goes, I saw your video. It's great.
Oh my God. Yeah. Watching that, I was like, no way would I feel comfortable doing that. But you're right. You're in your element.
Thank God I was sober that night because that could have ended just so bad.
The balance, like precariously balanced was, seemed to.
Mm-hmm. There was a little teeter.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been Start at Birth. It still is.
It still is.
Really, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for your feedback, your stories, your comments. Everything means so much. So we really appreciate it, and we love you. If you have anyone that you think might like this podcast, this hodgepodge of a fuckberry, feel free to share it with them.
And follow our Instagram, Start at Birth.
Yeah, the Instagram account is called Start at Birth. I'm at Becky Robinson 4, at Entitled Housewife, at Susie Chapstick Skis, at Alan Gingrich, at
Bev.
Donnie Cush, California, at Bev on Melrose. Website, entitledhousewife.com. We're doing a pre-order for some really cute new items. I think I was wearing one of the pieces from the collection, but that's going to be coming out soon if it hasn't already dropped by the time we release this one. So look out for all that stuff, entitledhousewife.com, and all my 2023 tour dates will be coming out soon. I've been Becky Robinson.
And I am Miriam Mulligafari, and this is Start at Birth.